Good evening and welcome to Inverness in the Spotlight. My name is Doug Lobel and I'm the Executive Director of the Inverness Old Town Association, who sponsors this program every week. And each week we have 3 segments. The first segment is extremely interesting and very timely, as a matter of fact. We have with us Walter Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Walter Wilson just came back from an honor flight to Washington, D.C., and we're going to be talking about that. The honor flights, for those of you who don't know, honor flight raises the money to send an aircraft to Washington, D.C. full of World War II veterans so that they can get to see the World War II monument that was built in 2004 and to tour Arlington and some other things. And Walter has been on that flight September 27th and October 27th.
27th, yes.
Okay. And I'm sorry. And then he's going to tell us a little bit about his experience. When did you first learn about honor flight, Walter?
In the Chronicle, and I went out with got the application and filled it out, and
Great.
And I got a phone call to come out there and for the orientation, and from there.
At what point did you? Barbara Mills, who is the lady everybody knows affectionately as the Welcome Home lady.
Yes.
At what point did you get to meet her?
In the first meeting we had in Ocala.
The orientation meeting over there?
To fill out the application.
Right.
Yeah, she was there.
Yeah, and so she took you the rest of the way through.
Exactly.
Now, do you remember how many of you went up on that flight? I think there was...
That plane was full.
I think there was 16 or 17 from Citrus County.
Yes.
Yeah.
It had to be right about that, because it was...
Yeah, the planes are full and they carry 160 some people. Generally speaking, about 100 of them are World War II veterans.
Yes.
And the rest are people who help get the veterans around and take care of their needs while they're there.
Escorts.
The escorts, right. And the escorts pay for their own way.
Yes.
But the honor flight organization raises the money to pay for the veterans to be able to go.
I understand there was a couple on there that raised $15,000 of that money. They're from Ocala.
Yeah, there are some people very dedicated to this program. Barbara Mills and myself, Pastor Doug Alexander, Commissioner Wynn Webb, and Mayor Bob Playstead, who make up the steering committee for Citrus County. We raised the money to support our Citrus County veterans to go, and we've the October 27th flight, and then another one on October 29th that went out of Clearwater, St. Pete. We had some folks on that, but those are the last flights for the year because the weather closed in. As a matter of fact, we had some snow.
Yeah.
You had some rain, I think.
Well, yes, it was not too bad. A light drizzle. It really didn't affect anything.
When you got there, did anybody greet you?
Oh, in Baltimore. That was fantastic.
Who was there in Baltimore?
They had Navy brass there, looked like admirals and
right.
Marine Corps guys and young sailors, and clapping as you came out. It make you want to cry.
Yeah, I mean they were there to say thank you for your service.
And the plane with the fire trucks.
Oh yeah. The fire truck shooting the water over top.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So what did you do there while you were up there for the day? You left at like 6 in the morning or something?
Yeah, we took the bus from Ocala Barbara called me and said, we got a bus, you don't have to drive. And 5 o'clock in the morning, and then we got to Ocala, and it was around 6:30 we flew, and I think it was 9:30, quarter to 10 we were in Baltimore, and got on the other buses with the...
Red, white, and blue?
Red, white. We each had... one bus had the people with the red hats.
And they gave you an honor flight hat. The color was the color of your bus?
Yeah, I have it in my car. I should have brought it in.
That's okay. So where did you go first trip? Where was your stops?
Well, there were so many places. We made them all, except the...
Where did they took a picture? Was that at the...
Lincoln Memorial.
Okay.
That was the main one.
And then did you get to see the Iwo Jima, the raising of the flag?
No, I don't recall that one.
That was probably a drive-by. But then you went in 2000.
Yes.
In 2004, they opened the new World War II monument,
And Korea.
Yeah, main reason for us to bring our folks, our World War II veterans up there. And you got to spend some time at that monument, I guess.
Yes. We were World War II,
Yeah, in your service, what years were you in?
1944 and 45.
And you were a merchant marine.
Merchant Marine.
And you were telling me earlier you were on oil tankers?
Oil tankers, that's the only ships I was ever on.
And so you were picking up fuel in the Persian Gulf and taking them to...
Saipan, Guam, for the B-29s.
Okay, so you were bringing the fuel in for the B-29s
Yes.
to fly their missions.
Uh-huh.
Great. You ever get chased by a submarine?
We were warned. They left us an escort
Yeah.
because the ship I was on, the first one, was an old oil tanker, and its top speed was 9 knots.
Wow.
We had no armament on it at that time. The second ship, it was 3-inch forward, 5-inch aft, and 20s. That ship was loaded, but
So you were kind of vulnerable out there with
all alone.
Yeah. Well, that's good, you know, it's hard to not know at any minute what's could happen, you know, around the next corner.
It would have been.
But yeah, oh yeah, you get hit by a torpedo, one of those tankers. I can only imagine what happens.
Yeah.
But let's talk about when you all returned. You went to? Did you go to Arlington?
Yes.
Arlington Cemetery. That would have been your last.
Oh
stop?
yeah, at Tomb of the Unknown Soldier and just about everywhere, and they stopped with the bus going through the place and showing you what some other monuments.
Ah. Did they feed you?
Excellent. That supper coming back on the plane was a hot meal.
How about that? The airlines could take a cue from that, right?
Yeah, it was a delicious.
So when you arrived back, I think we have a picture of the plane landing in Ocala, and as you were coming in, I was there in that crowd.
Yes, I know.
There was probably 2,000 or 3,000 people on that tarmac waiting for you all to arrive.
There was a lot of them there in the morning when we left, and
Yeah.
it was cold.
And then, of course, there was there they are with their flags and stuff, and here the group is coming down the steps, getting off the plane.
Yeah.
And then this is a picture that we got. You're in that picture. This is as we were loading the van, and then we had the Capital City Bank through a special
Yes.
meeting for you, luncheon for you, and we really appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like to donate to help the next World War II veteran go, we're going to put up on the screen real quick.
Yes.
You can contribute money to Honor Flight, drop off a check at any Capital City Bank in Citrus County, made out to Citrus County Honor Flight, to help us send more people like you up there to be able to see your monument. And we want to thank you for being on our show.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.